You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver. What the hell is that? Podcast.
All right, listen, it's that time of year. It's finally warm enough that I can pace around my driveway and do this podcast instead of having to go to a fire hall, traipse around in there, and having to explain to every Tom, Dick, and Dingle hopper that shows up at the stupid fire hall, oh, what are you doing in here? You talking to yourself? No, I'm not talking to myself. Do I look like a raving lunatic? Don't answer that because I know what the answer is. But still, no, shut up and go away. I'm doing a podcast. But I don't have to do that now because I'm outside in my own damn driveway. Leave me the hell alone. If you couldn't guess, this is the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. I'm your host, Ransom the Madman, with the other two illustrious hosts as well. I don't know where Tom is. He may be coming. He may not be coming. But Poop the Barn is here. Beef the Legend is here. And we're going to talk wrestling. And let me tell you this. If you couldn't tell already from the diatribe that is this inferring, I'm in a mood. I'm wound up. I'm feisty. I'm spicy. And I'm ready to get this show on the road. I can't deal anymore with people. I can't deal anymore with WWE. I've had enough. And I need some time to vent on this podcast because if I don't get that, I'm going to be salty and crabby all night long. And it's going to be nothing but bile and vitriol being spit, spattered, and spilled everywhere. We have things to talk about. We've got stuff to do. But I want to kick this show off first and foremost with WWE Backrash. We need to talk about this because if I don't get it out, it's going to eat at me and I'm going to be cranky. So can we please talk about this pay-per-view first?
Can I mention one thing before we do?
Why can I not say, hey, can we talk about this pay-per-view? Let's kick off with this pay-per-view. And then all of a sudden someone comes in, oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and talk about this other thing. I tell you this, you talk about whatever you want to talk about, fuckface. But if you get upset with me because I'm cranky all night, this is on you. This isn't on me. I gave you fair warning. So go ahead.
What I was going to say is that we should start with
the zombies. Were you going to say it or just say it?
What I was going to say was I was going to talk about we have to hit the zombies. That is the key thing. The zombies were the thing brewed that fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah, we're going to hit the zombies, but we're going to talk about the entire fucking show because it was all a bag of trash. The zombies kicked it off. The zombies knocked it off the pedestal of okay, I can watch this. But the bulk of that pay-per-view was either A, a bag of trash, or C, entirely forgettable.
So
except for one match.
The only thing I'll say is I have not watched it, and given the wonderful reviews I'm hearing from you folks, I may not. I've heard, though, that it was a solid pay-per-view outside of zombies. I've heard that, like, it was WrestleMania, but with, like, better matches. Now, longer doesn't always equal better, but anytime the workers are actually given time to work, it's usually better. And I saw that most of the match times are about 10 to 15 minutes, which leads me to believe that, you know, they had some honest-to-God time. So, but please, enlighten me. Zombies and all, let's talk about Backrash.
All right, let's not get to the zombies quite yet. I want to start at the very top. Now, listen, everybody has their opinion on what is good and what is not good. I have my opinion tonight. You can disagree with it, but let me tell you this, you're wrong. Because you can't disagree with my opinion because it's my opinion and you can't tell me that I'm wrong. You can have your own. But listen, here's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with this stupid triple threat women's match. Okay? If you watched the last stupid episode of Frig Off Ransom, you knew that I had a piece of paper with I took notes on this damn thing. I was engaged and I took notes. And then I was utterly disappointed. That just goes to show I shouldn't have fucking bothered. But, Poot, let me get your take on this first match. Asuka, Charlotte, Rhea Ripley.
I'm going to say one word. It's one syllable. Meh. Meh. It was meh. It was meh. The thing that I hated the most was after the victory, which the right person won in this case. Can we agree on that? Right person won.
Rhea Ripley,
yes,
right?
Rhea Ripley won.
Yes, that's correct.
They did the right thing. They kept the belt on her.
Yes.
However, the thing that I hated the most, hated the most, was how they had her sell her victory and rub it in Charlotte's face. And also how they piped in boos for Rhea Ripley. No. Push her to the moon. That makes me so angry because I'm like, this right here is the perfect example of WWE using this format that they're in to just control everything. To control reaction, to control characters. There's no reason for Rhea Ripley to be a heel. None. The only reason they're making her a heel is because the way she looks. Like the whole vibe of her character. Because it's not a Charlotte. It's not a kind of like, glossed up, glamour painted package.
Thank you.
Like, and the thing is, they even, from when she was down in NXT, kind of just ran the knife across of a stone. It's still sharp, but it's not razor sharp. They just made it a little more soft-edged, a little more Hot Topic circa 2019 versus Hot Topic, 2001. Speaking of Hot Topic 2001, ladies and gentlemen, your current reigning, defending, undisputed Cruiserweight champion Tiger Bomb Tom is here. Tom, we're complaining about how WWE is using the piped-in crowd feed to make people heels when they're not heels. It doesn't make sense for them to be heels.
I'm over it, and here's why. Like, I'm done with the Thunderdome. I'm Dunderdome.
Dunder Mifflin Dome.
For these companies,
don't insult Dunder Mifflin like that. Dunder Mifflin was way better.
I'm ready for these companies.
I'm fine with Dunderdome. No, that's fine.
I'm ready for these companies to get out on the road and actually have fans again, because what was it on NXT? It came through real fucking clear. There was like a real bad like piped in chant. It was the Ted DiBiase chant.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is, and that was the real glaring time I heard it in NXT. But I know that they've been doing it in the fucking Thunderdome. So yeah, I'm fucking over it. And I don't understand why Rhea Ripley is a heel. At best, she should be a tweener. At best.
I would guarantee that there was no less than 75% of people watching who were actually Dunderdoming, no less than 75% would have been cheering for that victory. There's no way that many people legit booed. I mean, it's so obvious that they pumped this crap in.
To paraphrase the dude, it's all part of Vince's sick Charlotte obsession, Like, they just believe that Charlotte Flair is the greatest wrestler in the world. That's why they pushed her over Sasha Banks, who, by the way, is at least 5 times the wrestler that Charlotte Flair is.
Okay, you said it. You pushed the Charlotte button. My time. This is my time.
You're right ahead.
My time. So, first off, this has in part to do with Charlotte, but it also in part to do with stupid WWE and their fucking announce team. I can't anymore with the nicknames. The Queen, the Empress, the Queen, the Empress, the King. Those stupid announcers that announced this stupid match said the Queen and the Empress more times than they said the wrestlers' legit wrestling names. How many pieces of foreign wrestling royalty am I supposed to give a shit about? Can't care about any queens. Can't care about any empresses. Can you just call them Charlotte? Can you call her Charlotte Flair? Can you just call her Asuka? Why? It's too much, and I'm over it, and I'm done with it. It's too much. The Queen is battling the Empress on the Queen and the Empress. Fuck you and your royalty. I've had enough.
Real quick aside, Barry Trotz is a no-neck fucking goon. Go on.
Okay, I don't know who that is, but okay.
Okay, Barry Trotz, fuck you.
Fuck you. He's the coach of the Islanders. Used to be the coach of the fucking Capitals. He's a fucking no-neck goon. He looks like a fucking turtle. Fuck you, Barry Trotz.
I'm super excited about that. So, second, and look, my wife came into the room while this match was on, and she says to me, is that Charlotte? And I said, yeah. And she goes, why does she look so different? And I said, thank you. Every time this woman comes back from more than a week-long break, she has had some sort of work done. She looks like a completely different person all the fucking time. I'm starting to think that either WWE or Charlotte Flair have some sort of mental disorder to where they can't stop with the plastic surgery. Some people get that, and I'm starting to think that she's getting it. Because when you go under the knife more than China, and you look more processed than China did, you have a problem. It's time to stop. If you can't be happy with looking like a trash bag, then you need some mental help to accept the fact that you look like a trash bag. This woman is more Barbie than the majority of what's in my playroom upstairs. And I have a daughter, and she's got a lot of Barbie shit. She's the worst. She's the worst. And I don't know if it's the plastic that's slowing her down, but this bitch, this woman is getting slower. She's not getting faster. She's not getting better. She's getting slower, and she's getting worse. The more I see a Charlotte in the ring, the slower she looks. It looks like she's struggling a little bit to wrestle through molasses. And I don't know if you watched my stupid frig off dum-dum video, Tom, but if you didn't, I had a reference in there, and it was for you. Charlotte Flair wrestles. The way she wrestles, it looks like Samus is walking through water with just a little bit of a gravity suit malfunction.
Oh no, I saw that.
It's just a little bit like, it feels like you're struggling to move a tidbit. Not that you're gassed. You're not out of breath. It's not like one of those struggling to move. It's one of those like, your body isn't moving in the correct amount of gravity. And I don't know if her joints are all plasticed up. But she's not getting better. And I know I'll probably get in an argument with Beef about this. Maybe to a point she was getting better. She's not anymore. She's getting worse. She's getting worse. She's getting slower. And I could tell you one more thing, and I'm done with Charlotte. If I see one more stupid, her running into a turnbuckle and taking a boot, or taking a punch, or taking a slap, and she turns around and walks away and gives the drunk fists like Daddy used to do, you're stupid. I'm pulling a Randy Orton. You're stupid. Walking around at least 3 times in that match, somebody hit her or gave her a boot or gave her something, and she walked away and gave the drunk fists. Just fists are up, and I'm a little drunk, but I'm ready to fight. I'm a little drunk, but I'm gonna get you. Stop trying to be your dad. I'm sorry. I'm done. I hate it.
If you're looking for me to defend Charlotte Flair, you clearly don't listen to this podcast often enough.
I swore at one point you were like, she's getting better, man. She's getting better.
I think there are qualities about Charlotte that can be used the right way to make her an honest-to-God superstar.
Okay.
I can accept that they have jumped the shark with her by... And again, I lean on this point constantly because it is the biggest fucking problem I have with the whole fucking women's revolution. Whenever her and Sasha and Becky all came up at the same time, and she got over on Sasha every single fucking time, and they traded that belt back and forth like 9 times, but every time on pay-per-view, Charlotte always won. They made it very clear that Charlotte Flair was the number one because of who she was, not because of skill, not because of talent, not because of look, not because of charisma, but because of who she was. And for the last 5 years, she's been coasting on being a Flair. Has she improved? She has. Devil their due? She has. Is it her fault that she's being shoved down our throats? It's not. This is John Cena. This is Randy Orton. This is fucking Hulk Hogan in the 80s. This is not Charlotte Flair saying, I want to be the top dog. I'm sure she's not going to argue with it. Why would you? Good fucking money in it. But, she's not going to Vince and being like, hey, push me. This is Vince saying, well, she's a Flair, damn it. Her dad was the quote-unquote greatest of all time. Argument for another podcast. Power driver. But, Vince, and it's funny because, for the longest time, Vince McMahon didn't care about Ric Flair. Vince McMahon didn't see the fucking money in Ric Flair because Ric Flair left Vince McMahon's company to go work for WCW And Vince was like, well, he's nothing. He's nobody. He's you know. And all of a sudden, you know, yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, his daughter has the potential to be profitable, and Vince is like, I see all the money in the world in Ric Flair. Ric Flair's the greatest entertainer in the world. I mean, it's night and day, man. Like, if you think that they gave a shit about Ric Flair prior to WrestleMania 24, prior to the retirement shit, go back and watch the stuff between Evolution and WrestleMania 24, his retirement match. It's some bad shit.
He was there as fan service. And before I pose something about regarding Charlotte Flair, I kind of want to hear Tom's take on this. Tom's here?
I've been here.
I'm kidding. I'm having a laugh. I'm having a laugh because we're all like tea kettles whistling. Whee! Go ahead, Tom.
What do you want to hear my thoughts on?
Charlotte Flair.
I don't.
The Charlotte, Asuka,
Rhea Ripley.
Oh,
Fuck Charlotte. They've misused Asuka forever. It's Rhea's time. That's it.
Nailed it.
That succinct and wonderful from the champ.
Can't really disagree.
My thing with Charlotte Flair, the problem is from the beginning, and this is to reiterate, they painted her into a corner. You know, she's Charlotte Flair's kid, and she's kind of just playing the female version of Charlotte
Flair's kid.
Yeah, she's Ric Flair's kid. Sorry, she's Ric Flair's kid. So she's playing the role of basically female Ric Flair. Like, that's pretty much it. They can't. All they've done is made her more Karen-y, if you will. Like, that's all they've done. They've made her just more entitled. They've had her, like, she keeps getting work done. She keeps dressing like in really obnoxious ways. She keeps, you know, just acting more calm and like, I'm the greatest. And when she loses, she gets that psychopath look on her face of like, how dare you not let me walk into your Costco without a mask? Like, it's the, you know, she gets into that territory. And the problem is you can't really reinvent Charlotte Flair. That's the problem. She's pigeonholed. You know, I understand that a lot of the women, like, that's the one thing it seems like with the women versus the men's roster. There are, of course, men's examples. You can't repackage John Cena from something that's not the rap star or go take your vitamins and listen to your parents' kids, John Cena. You can repackage plenty of superstars on there, but like the women, I feel like it's harder to repackage them like completely over. Like, you can't take Charlotte away and have her come back as Lord Tensai. Wahey. Like, you can't, you can't have like that kind of thing. So it's like, for the rest of her career, that's what she is. No matter where she goes, no matter what she does, that is her character. Like, that's the problem with Charlotte Flair. The thing that she has to do to win over people like Beef and Ransom and Tom and even myself, I'm the one who probably gave her the credit and said, listen, for as little experience in the ring as she has, she's head and shoulders above a lot of other people. You know, but that doesn't mean that she's super polished or good. She can make a moonsault look great, but there is a lot to be worked on. And that's the thing. If she really focused on getting really, really, really good in the ring, that's how she's going to have to be able to push forward. And it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. And
it doesn't take much to be better than Kelly, okay?
Well, yeah.
Something because I hate giving Charlotte more time than she already has. You were talking about the crowd noises and stuff being pumped into Thunderdome and making heels, making somebody a heel when they're not a heel or this and that. Yep. You know what really pissed me off or more so confused me? And again, I haven't done a Monday Night Raw review because they've been fucking abysmal the last 2 to 3 weeks. So, but you know what really confused me about on Monday Night Raw? Why the fuck did we have AJ Styles, who's a heel, facing Elias, who's a heel, and then at the end of the match, it seemed like you kind of got some sympathy for AJ when he kind of got beat up at the end. So are they turning AJ in Omos face or like what? I don't fucking get it. Monday Night Raw doesn't connect the dots. WWE creative needs to pull their heads out of their fucking asses. I'm tired of it. NXT is about the only good goddamn WWE product right now, and it's fucking infuriating.
And
you don't think they know where they're going?
Fucking embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing.
They don't know where they're going with it.
They
don't know who's the heel or who's the face.
Nope,
Give me a trash can so I can kick it. Fucking embarrassing.
Well, and I mean that, like, you know, Charlotte Flair kind of falls into that. Charlotte Flair is a natural fucking heel. Like, she dressed up as Cruella de Vil at the pay-per-view, and yet they're trying to make her a pseudo face. No, like you work with what you got, man. That's like when they tried to put, and again, I hate to keep going back to Sasha, but like,
no, you don't.
You're right. I don't, because I think that she is one of the best, if not the best, women wrestler in the world. But like when they tried to force her into being a face, it just didn't work. It's a square peg in a round hole. It doesn't fucking go. Charlotte Flair is right there. You know who else is tantamount to that is Randy fucking Orton. Randy Orton has a fucking gimmick change every week. Is he the face? Is he a heel? Well, let's see. He burnt a guy alive to death. And now he's a good guy with Matt Riddle. The fucking Arcade Bros, whatever the hell they are. Like, creative has no
spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah, creative has no long-term booking. Strowman. Is Strowman a face? Is Strowman a heel? Depends on the
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Cares.
Hey, we had this really successful group. Let's push him. Nope, just kidding. We're gonna get rid of the group and just focus on the main guy. Like, there's no long-term booking. Things change from week to week, from moment to moment. For example, the night after WrestleMania, the Viking Raiders came back. I think they were on the next week after that. Since then, I haven't seen them. Where are they at?
Nowhere.
One of your best tag team, one of the best tag teams in the world, sitting on the sidelines. Keith Lee, wreaking havoc in NXT, like an absolute fucking house of fire. Yep. So much so that Vince said, "Give me this." He puts him on the main roster, beats Randy Orton clean on pay-per-view, and everyone's like, "Okay." Like, takes Drew McIntyre, your incumbent champion, to the limit on like his first, like within 2 months of being on Raw, and it's like, wow, okay, gone. Who fucking knows? The Fiend sells all kinds of merch.
Let's not just.
It's amazing. All of a sudden, it's all about Alexa Bliss.
And they've been doing dick all with her too.
It's the flavor of the week. That's what they're about.
They've been doing dick all with Alexa Bliss too. Like they're teasing this something, and I understand. I understand some things need to be a slow burn. Like, so it seems like she has her sights set on Shayna Baszler, basically. If you've been paying attention to the last 2 weeks, I'm willing. This is the one thing I'm willing to give Raw a pass on, is Alexa Bliss, because I feel like they're doing a very, very slow burn, and I get that. I get it, but when you don't have anything else sustainable on your product to keep me interested besides this one thing, and you're gonna drag that one good thing out forever and ever and ever, man, you are fucking up royally, because nobody's gonna want to watch. Like, I'm literally gonna fast forward through all of Monday Night Raw until I see Alexa Bliss on the screen. I'm gonna see what happened, and then I'm gonna fucking, who cares?
All right.
I love Alexa. She's worked so hard, because if you guys remember, she was Miss Irrelevant in the draft that brought her up. She was the last pick, and everyone was like, ho, 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 like a manager down in NXT, what is doing? And she came and she fucking owned that shit. She's working hard.
Killed it.
And I really appreciate this character. I don't appreciate her taking all of the momentum that Bray Wyatt spent fucking 2.5 years building up, and just basically the transitive property at work, where it went from him to her, and creatives like, we're done. I loved Bray Wyatt's tweet, either during the event or after the event on Sunday. Miss me yet? #zombies. Because he fucking gets it. He's sitting on the sideline saying, what are we doing? What are we even fucking doing here?
Exactly. And Dollars to Donuts says, this is not a slow burn with Alexa Bliss. This is them going week to week, going, what the fuck are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do?
Put her on.
All right, send her out there and have her say some stuff. Send her out there and leak some black goo. We'll figure it out next week. And it's rinse and repeat all over again every week.
And
all right, we need to move on with this event here. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Dirty Dingleberries versus the fucking Riddler family.
I feel like, listen, this is going to be the ones that and that's fine that I disagree. I don't think this match was as bad as you think it was.
I'm gonna shit on it.
I didn't watch it.
I have no doubt.
I didn't come into the event until after the first 2 or 3 matches. I missed the women's triple threat. I missed the Mysterios, and I could care less about the Mysterios anyways. I've never been a big Mysterio fan, so that would have been a fucking piss break match for me anyways.
Oh yeah. Let me hear Poot, though. I want to hear what he says.
I just think that from the get-go, whenever it was just Ray and the Dirty Dogs in there, it was boring, and it's one of those things where you're like, oh, the heels are beating up on the face, the heels champion. And from the beginning, you're like, okay, the Mysterios are going to win. All right, that's fine. Listen, I thought the problem was the match went on too long, and it made Ray look way too unbeatable. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, he's Rey Mysterio, but like, these are two big dudes that are in shape that can go, and they can't put down Rey Mysterio. Like, they can't put down, and it went on for about, I'd say, 5 to 7 minutes too long of Ray just kicking out. If they would have shortened it up and had Dominic come out before that, it would have been a little more digestible, a little more believable. I just think this went on a little too long. But then once Dominic came down, which again, you knew was going to happen, I think they started telling a better story. Was it an amazing story? No. Is it one that we're going to sit here and pontificate and look back on fondly and go, oh man, you remember that tag match at Wrestlemania Backlash 2021? No. But I think that they did a good job once the actual match got going, instead of just like, let's beat the shit out of Ray and have him kick out of everything and the kitchen sink. So once that went, the match was I enjoyed it. They told a good story. Rude and Ziggler sold really well. Dominic, I think, given enough time and given more training and more experience, and once he grows up a little bit, I think he's got a really solid career ahead of him.
I've never been much of a Mysterio fan, because it's Mysterio versus 85% of the rest of the roster that's bigger than him. And what's the only story that you can tell between a big guy and a little guy? David versus Goliath. Guess what? I'm fucking sick of seeing it, Rey Mysterio. Go home, nurse your fucking glass eyeball, and fucking retire already. I'm done with you.
Here's all.
Thank you.
And by the way, it's awful nice of Rocket Raccoon to find another eye to give to Rey Mysterio. Here's what I'll say about Rey Mysterio. The dude is legit one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time, and no one will ever take that away from him. He made WCW palatable in the 90s. Everybody likes to look back on WCW with fucking rose-colored glasses and think that the NWO was so great. It wasn't. It sucked a lot of the time.
Yep.
Oh, well, what about the main events? Goldberg and Booker T, they sucked a lot of the time. Big Papa Pop sucked a lot of the time.
Yep.
The cruiserweights and Chris Jericho made WCW, and the tag teams made WCW palatable.
Yes.
That being said, Rey Mysterio had his moment in the sun 15 years ago when he won the WWE World Title. He also won a WWE title. Good for him. Dude's not a main eventer. I don't agree with him being anywhere near the top of the card now. And I get the feeling that we're just going to be in a situation with Dominic like we are with Charlotte Flair. In about 5 years, where Dominic is winning shit because he's a Mysterio, not because of his talent or lack thereof.
And that's what I mean whenever I say grow up, because he's already doing, he's wearing the same kind of vibe and like style as far as patterns and colors and stuff as his dad, but he's not coming out in a mask. He's not.
Give it time.
He's playing like he's not trying to do all the crazy flippy high flyy stuff. Yeah, he's borrowing heavy from Eddie Guerrero and the Frog Splash, but because he's bigger, he can't go like his dad goes. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, is I think once Dominic has any kind of any kind of ability to let himself and his character develop, I feel like there's a lot of room to grow. I could even see them doing an angle where Dominic, throws away the Mysterio name and he creates something for himself along the lines of, like El Gato del Fantasma. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Axel.
Like, I'm just saying, if we doom and gloom everything, which, to be fair, WWE has a really good job of never, ever, ever, ever doing something good or creative in the past couple years. And when they do, they manage to fuck it up. But, like, I'm just saying, down the road, give it time, he could surprise us.
Okay, here we go. So I agree with Poot's synopsis of the match. Surprisingly enough, I agree with it. The beginning of it, snooze fest. And I also agree with Tom. I have had enough of the ultimate underdog, Rey Mysterio. Every feud, every match, they even said it in this match. Go back and watch. They even say something along the lines of underdog, ultimate underdog, something underdog. They said it in this frickin' match. Okay. I've had enough of that. Like, you've played it out. You've played out Mysterio being the small guy, being constantly against the odds. Stop it. Pardon me. That's been done to death, and I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. Yes, Poot is right. When Dominic came out, which, again, you knew was going to happen. You knew it. As soon as that beginning segment hit, for Dominic being injured and Ray went out on his own, I said to Tara, I'm like, I picked this wrong. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, I picked Rude and Ziggler. Mysterios are winning it. I'm calling it right here at the beginning of this stupid match with Dominic being quote unquote hurt and not going out with Ray. I'm like, he's coming out. They're going to win it. It's over. I failed. And sure as hell enough, what happened? Now, the match did pick up after Dominic came out. It got more entertaining. It got more palpable. I was able to stomach it a little bit. This match aside, though, I don't understand why this kid, now, I said I don't understand why. I understand exactly why. It's because he's Rey Mysterio's kid. But this dude didn't spend time in NXT. You have stars in NXT working to earn their spot, busting their ass, trying to get better, coming to the main roster, getting dookied on all the damn time. AJ Styles being the exception because he's AJ Styles. Dominic couldn't suck a fart out of AJ Styles' ass successfully because he's not that good. AJ Styles is so much better than him. Why is Dominic fast-tracked to the main roster? A, and B, this pile of shit, I'm sorry, this guy has a tag team title already. When there's other people who are busting to earn their keep, where is Keith Lee? Dominic Mysterio has a tag belt. Where is Keith Lee? That's what makes this. That's where I can't with this, because he's a Mysterio, and I guarantee you this, Poot. I guarantee you this. He's going to come out with a mask at some point. He will. He will wear that fucking Mysterio mask. Guarantee. Maybe it's after Ray retires. Maybe one of them turns heel and Ray takes the mask, or Dominic takes the mask from Ray, and then he wears it and he becomes heel. But I guarantee you this. He's going to have that Mysterio mask. Mark my words, on this date here and now, it will happen.
And that's fine, because Rey Mysterio Jr., which is Rey Mysterio, that one with Dominic, is the second one. He took the mask of his dad. So it only makes sense for it to inevitably happen.
Uncle?
Thank you, Uncle. Yep. Like, but it, but that's the point, is that in the thing is, you have to think about the cultural aspect of that. It's a point of pride. It's something you're carrying on the name. So I'm saying that, but that's what I'm saying, is that if he does that later, if he does it after, down the road years, but like in that time, if he can figure out and kind of have his own identity, and then whenever he picks it back up, then it's something like, you know, triumphant and going, oh, I'm older, I understand family, I understand tradition, and it can be done theoretically, if played right, in a very like elegant, triumphal way. Will that happen? No, but that's my point.
You, bro. I love you. You are so optimistic. You are so pie in the sky. You are just a genuine, wonderful human being. At the end of the day, WWE doesn't care about fucking heritage. They don't care about Lucha Libre. They don't care about Lucha Libre's traditions or heritage. They care about money. So if they think that Dominic putting on that shell of a Rey Mysterio mask, and I'm not trying to make light of Rey Mysterio's mask, it's, you know, one of the greatest of all time. It's a great design. But if they think that him having it will sell more merch, will get more Latin viewers to tune in, that is what they'll focus on.
Yep. That's true.
All right. What's next?
And all that's true. That's true.
What was after that match? What was next?
Oh Lord, I don't know what. Hold on, let me break out my note sheet. It's upside down. It's upside down.
Was that WWE / Walking Deadathon?
Yes. It's whenever the Miz
Here we go.
died. Here's the best part.
The Miz died.
The best part, but the worst part is the Miz is actually hurt.
Yeah.
So his last fucking thing on television is getting eaten by zombies.
Yep, Miz and Morrison both eaten.
Wait, hold on, Morrison. Okay, because I didn't see this match. So Morrison got eaten as well at the pay-per-view.
Let me set this up for you, Tom. Let me set this up for you.
No. I had the rest of it set up. I just wasn't sure if Morrison got eaten too. Yep. So we called it. We called it that one or both of them would be right back on Monday Night Raw the next night, like nothing fucking happened. Morrison, Johnny fucking Drip Dick is there. What? Why? I fucking hate this. Why?
Money.
Let me tell you why.
Money.
Morrison isn't printing money. Who the fuck are you kidding? Come on.
No. I'm saying because money. Go ahead, Ransom.
Because Dave Bautista is in a movie called Army of the Dead.
Oh, no, I know
Dave
that.
Bautista used to be a wrestler. So we can tie in this movie with wrestling. And we can have zombies come down to an apocalyptic backscape. Not the people who are on the Thunderdome. No. Now it's a city wastelandscape behind us with fog and zombies. And John Morrison comes down at one point and starts Johnny Drip kicking these zombies, jumping up and down off of the barricade. Flip kick, Drip Dick, flip kick, Drip Dick. Oh no, he fell behind the barricade. He stood up, some zombies stood up and then pulled him down and ate him. It's because we have to have zombies because Dave Bautista used to be a wrestler.
No. Let's see. Honestly, things that are to me that would be more entertaining than actually going back and watching this match because I refuse to. I would rather sit with a full-length mirror and watch myself take a shit than watch this fucking match.
This sounds like a fucking acid dream. It really sounds like a fucking just somebody. And here's something funny. Scotty Too Hotty was one of the zombies. Too Hot Scott Taylor was one of the zombies.
That's hilarious.
So was Buddy Murphy.
Man, that's sad.
Unfortunate.
That is super fucking sad.
Here's the worst part about this match. Let me tell you this. The worst part about this match was the in-ring action, the actual wrestling match between The Miz and Damian Priest was good. It was solid. It was an entertaining match. If they would have just went out there with regular lumberjacks, this probably would have been the best or the second best match on the card. It really would have been. In terms of those two being able to work in the ring, it would have been great. But I'll tell you this much. When I look back on this match, when I remember it in my mind, I'm not going to remember how great Damian Priest and The Miz were. I'm going to remember stupid zombies, Miz and Morrison getting eaten, and the fact that Damian Priest deserves so much better than to be put in a zombie mother humping lumberjack match.
Then they had the audacity to do a fucking lumberjack match between fucking Johnny Drip Dick and fucking Damian Priest the very next night on Monday Night Raw with.
Oh no, they didn't. Did they really?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's and I I don't like to think this, but I think that Damian Priest may be in the doghouse because The Miz was injured because Damian Priest landed on him. And again, I get it. It's wrestling. Things happen and everything. But at the end of the day, we all remember Randy Orton and him burying Kennedy and how that played out. And Randy Orton burying Kofi and how that played out. So, I mean, I'm worried. I'm a little worried. Good.
Neither The Miz nor John Morrison, and again, you might laugh in my face for this, seem like the type to be like, oh, he injured me, bury the piss out of him. I don't.
No, I agree with you. I don't think it was them. I don't think it would have been them. I don't think they would have done that. I think that probably was Vince that did that.
I'm sorry, Johnny Drip Dick does not have the fucking clout to do that on the Randy Orton level. And dare I say, I don't know that The Miz has Randy Orton level clout. Yes, Miz has been around there for a long time. Yes, Miz has a Hall of Fame career. But I don't know, man. I mean, and generally speaking, I hear nothing but great things about how good of a guy he is. So again, I would find it hard to believe, but I still find it hard to believe that I don't know why I don't know. There's so many. I have more questions than goddamn answers. I don't know.
I just want to throw out a little bit of love for John Morrison because he has reinvented himself into a character.
No, he hasn't.
Hold the fuck on.
No, he hasn't.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm not going to hold on. He comes out the same goddamn music that he did 10 fucking years ago. He does the same stupid slow-mo fucking... Fuck that. He has not reinvented shit. Go on. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. Well, I 100% disagree because he has a character now that is very annoying and very clearly has gotten the best of all, well, at least two of you, that you keep calling him Johnny Drip Dick, and it's very clear that he's needling you right between your ribs. That's the mark of a good heel character, man. I don't care what you have to say. I think that he has made a good heel character here. I think that he's making lemonade out of lemons because they're not giving him a lot. They're making him the Miz's bitch. Let's be real. He is the Miz's sidekick, and he has made, I believe, a different character. John Morrison the first was different than Johnny Drip Drip. I think that they are night and day. I won't go that far. I think that they are like day and dusk, just different enough to be believable. So I mean, power to him, man. He went out and he cut his teeth the right way. He became an honest to God main eventer and came back to WWE. Didn't expect that. He didn't show up and be like, hey, I'm Johnny, fucking Nitro or Johnny Impact or Johnny, Cuero or whatever the fuck he was or I'm Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo.
He didn't come expecting. He said, you know what? I'm here. I'm going to do everything I can. I think he's done a great job so far. And I think that he's one of the things that's kept this feud with Bad Bunny, The Miz, and Damian Priest interesting.
I'm going to tell you this. John Morrison as a heel was not getting under my skin. It's the fact, it's just the name Johnny Drip Drip. I don't know if he started it. I don't know if the Miz started it.
Hair, like the big fucking poof on his head and the fucking glasses.
But his overall character, to me, it's the same shit from fucking 10, 15 years ago. It's the same thing. It's the same thing to me. I don't know.
Right. Let's focus on the true stupidity of this match. Listen,
the fact that it happened.
No, the zombies. Goddamn guys. Listen. This is where I'm gonna go ransom level frustration.
Yes.
WWE, for all the shit that, and here you know what, guys, I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you. Listen, I'm gonna break the fourth wall here, and I know they're not listening, but I'm still gonna do it. WWE, listen, we give you a lot of shit. You make a lot of bad decisions. You do a lot of things that are wrong, a lot of things we don't agree with, and you try and control the way that the fans, what the fans want. You said you were going to listen. You don't. And whenever you do listen, it's like you listen and then pull it away. You're like that annoying old fisherman in those old commercials where he's like, there's $1. You almost got it. And then you give us what we want and then you take it away and ruin it, because I really feel like at the end of the fucking day, you don't want us to be happy. This was bad TNA level bullshit. This was Impact level bad. I understand you wanted to do a tie-in. You know what you could have done for a tie-in? Have Batista be there. Have the guys come out not as zombies, not have extras, not have people that we've never seen before, not have NXT developmental talent that's not ready for TV, not put Scotty 2 Hotty in there, even though these guys probably have fun. Poor Buddy Murphy. The man is incredibly good. I still stand by the statement that him and Kalisto, you remember the match? It was him and Kalisto. I think it was on a 205 Live or it was on a pay-per-view, and they tore down the fucking house. Mm-hmm. And it was incredible.
Unfortunately, I don't.
Oh, my God. Go look up Buddy Murphy and Kalisto. It was...
that was a money match.
Oh my God, it was incredible. And it was on a pre-show. It was a pre-show for an event, and they just ripped the house down. It was amazing. And it showed you have someone, the talent of a Buddy Murphy, and you have Buddy Murphy just being a weird zombie for this weird tie-in because you have weird Dave Bautista in a weird movie that no one cares about. Weird. I just needed one more of those in there. This is stupid. I'm sure, like I said, everybody involved had a good time until Miz got hurt, because this is really his first major injury. And I honestly believe that if they didn't have to have all these staged moments, these goofy, stupid staged moments with the zombies and everything, I believe that the Miz would not have gotten hurt. If Damian Priest would have been able to focus a little bit more, and they would have been able to just focus on what they were doing, and have just a standard lumberjack match, even if you had to have it, then I don't think we would have had the problem that we have, and the Miz would not be hurt. Like, you can do better. This is one of those things that I'm not going to yell and scream. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I'm deeply disappointed. I'm deeply disappointed. Because, like, I try and be the positive one here. I try and be the one that even when something is garbage, go, well, okay, it's out of the way, or, well, let's see where this goes. Not this time. This was stupid. This was pointless. And if you're not going to follow through on having the two people that are, eaten and killed by zombies off TV for a substantial amount of time, you need to get 7 kinds of fucked. Because you're not telling any kind of story. You're just doing it because you think it's going to be funny, and you promised Dave Bautista that you would do it. It's dumb.
Bullshit.
Here's what's really fucking stupid. Fucking the weekend before the pay-per-view, like days before, Randy Orton puts out either a tweet or a fucking like voice, report. I don't know. He fucking said it some way that he feels like John Cena and Dave Bautista used WWE as a stepping stone to get to the movies and nothing more. Basically burying the two of them.
Wow.
And it's like, yeah, but you're aware that he plays an integral part on Sunday night. Like, he's a voiceover dude. You have a match committed to this piece of shit movie, which may or may not be a piece of shit. We don't know. But, like, Randy Orton's not fucking dumb. He knows it's coming up. So what's he fucking do? He's just fucking going up with the fucking mouth. That's classic, vintage Randy Orton.
Yep.
Putting his fucking, all of his feet in his mouth, and Vince saying, got room for one more? I will never understand how Randy Orton walks around with his big fucking dong swinging all the fucking time, pissing all over whoever he wants to, and Vince goes, this is great, let's get him a world title.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Randy Orton, for some reason, seems to have the stroke to where he can do and say whatever he wants, and there are no consequences. And you know what? That used to irk me and tick me off. But hell, you know what? If Randy Orton is going to speak the God's honest truth about, like, look at it, look at what he said, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. If Randy Orton is going to shit on something because it's shit, more power to him, and I'm glad he can get away with it.
He's the chosen one.
Yeah, he is. And I loved right before the match, right before the entrance music and the people came out, I loved how they put stupid Dave Batista's tweet right up on the screen with his dumb face and his dumb blue sunglasses and his stupid tweet. I'm not going to be there, but I sent a few of my friends. Hashtag Army of the Dead. Hashtag see us bloody boogie doogie. Like, holy shit. Like, they just really phoned it in on this crap.
Oh my God.
Just the worst. I had such trouble. I'm done with this match. We're moving on.
Hold on. What's the take? What's the chances that this was 100% just a piss take? Like, what are the chances that Vince McMahon took all this fucking money from Army of the Dead or whatever and is like, hey, watch this. This will be fucking great. And wanted it to be the drizzlingest of shits.
What if...
I don't think that was it. I think they were like, hey, we want you to advertise this, and here's a dump truck full of money. I think Vince went, all right, let's do it. Have some zombies.
Beef, this is a man who didn't know what a burrito was and also didn't realize that the pirate gimmick that he had. Who was the pirate? Paul Burchill? Paul Burchill. Yeah, what is it?
Paul Burchill, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Paul Burchill. He didn't realize that was from Pirates of the Caribbean. He was just like, what? Like, so I don't think...
This is also the same guy that wanted to do an incest storyline angle with his own daughter. So, anyway, let's move the fuck on.
Vince McMahon's a weird dude, and I would not shock me at all if he's like, hey, watch this. I loved one more real quick thing. I think MJF and Jericho both said it, but WWE, somebody in WWE tweeted out about War Games.
Good shit,
or what do they call it?
Blood and Guts.
Blood and Guts, setting the industry back like 30 years or whatever. And then like that very fucking week, somebody in WWE said that or tweeted that or something. And then they do the zombie thing, and immediately I think it was Jericho, the first one that was on it. He's like, "Oh, we set the industry back 30 years. We did. Okay, a good call, WWE." Like, it's fucking pathetic. Moving on.
It is. It's the worst. Now, this match right here took so much of the wind out of the sails for me for this pay-per-view that there was a WWE title match between three guys that I couldn't give two shits about. I stared like a zombie at my screen during this whole match. Just stared at it. I can't remember anything about the Strowman, McIntyre, somebody else match.
So I've heard that this is a really good match. I've heard that this is one of the better matches of the year.
It was really good.
It was a good match. It was solid. It wasn't as good as the other title match, but it was a good match for three big beefy dudes having a triple threat match. It was good.
Listen,
and there's WrestleMania Night 2 in a nutshell.
Strowman,
you have you have the Fiend come out and you have him lose, and it takes the wind out of everybody's sails. Same shit. You have this goofy zombie shit. It takes the wind out of everybody else's sails. You put on two banging matches right after it. Nobody fucking cares or remembers because all that anybody's gonna be talking about is fucking zombies.
Well, here's the thing with this again, and I don't know if it's just me being longtime fucking jaded wrestling fan or whatever, or fucking Nostradamusing this shit. But number one, we had been saying it for a while that there's no reason for Lashley to drop the title before SummerSlam, so that's a given. And I'm not going to shit on Bob Gray for his pick because this is the one match that he lost in the picks. I don't know if you guys already went over the standings or not, but anyways, I had no unearthly idea why he would pick McIntyre when it's, foregone conclusion that Lashley was going to retain. But as soon as Lashley got thrown through that fucking LED panel up near the entrance ramp, I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely winning. Like it was kind of the same thing with, it was kind of the same scenario with, let's beat the shit out of Ray for like fucking way too long and then have Dominic come down and they're definitely going to win it then. Like that was my biggest takeaway was like, oh, yep, Lashley's definitely going to win now. Like, the action was good at certain points, but there was nothing memorable for me. Like, I know it was a good match. I know it was, it wasn't bad and it wasn't underwhelming, but it wasn't anything that jumped off the page for me. It was just a good match.
Yeah, and I think I'm in that same court too. Like, I don't think it was a crap match, but I agree with Beef. I had so much wind taken out of my sails that when I think back on this event, I'm not really going to remember that match. There may have been some amazing spots in that match. There may have been some really good things that they did, but I'm going to remember that there was a triple threat match. It was Braun and Lashley and McIntyre. I couldn't tell you what happened in the match. Because I was still reeling from the dumb zombie match.
I can tell you one thing that happened during that match that blew my freaking mind was that Braun Strowman took a Michinoku driver.
No, that. Yes.
I literally like audibly went, oh! Like
who? Wait,
I was
did McIntyre give him the Michinoku driver?
Yes. It was, and it literally, I was like, oh my god, Braun Strowman's dead. Like, I really did. I was like, how? Like, all those guys, I think in that match, the reason why I said it was a really good match is because all three of those guys followed up a shit sandwich like that zombie match, and they not only delivered, but I think proved why all three of them are in the title picture that they're in or have the title in Lashley's case. They showed that they are three big, beefy boys and they can put on a match that's not lumbering, slow insanity. Like, it was awesome. It was so much fun. Now, understandably, McIntyre is not the same beefy boy that the other two are, but man, those two impressed me, and I was sports entertained by that match. Would go back and watch it again. If there was a match on this show that it was like, hey, should I watch that event? No, but watch the WWE title match because it was a lot of fun. It was
here's a match.
Good.
Here's a match that, and I disagree with Poot on this. This is the match that you want to go back and watch, is the Universal title match between Roman Reigns and Cesaro.
Also super good.
If there is one saving grace about this pay-per-view, it is this match. And kudos to WWE for putting this match on last.
Yep.
I will say this for this match. I feel like they did everything correct.
Yep.
Everything was done right in this match. I have zero complaints. I complain about a lot of shit. Everybody knows it. I have zero complaints about this match from start to finish. This was an amazing match. These two dudes put on a show. And again, we have shat on Roman Reigns in the past, but I don't feel like that was Roman Reigns' fault. I feel like that's how Roman Reigns was being pushed. I don't think he was ever garbage in the ring. He doesn't have 5 moves to doom. He is a very good in-ring worker. He's gotten so much better on the mic. His heel stuff that he's doing now, his mic work is the best mic work he has ever done, bar none. You can't argue that with me because I don't believe you. It is the best. He killed it. Cesaro killed it. These two guys put on a slam bang match. And this is how you know that these two dudes get it. At the end of this match, Roman Reigns had Cesaro in, I can't remember what the move was, but it was a submission move, right?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns did not submit Cesaro. Cesaro passed out. He didn't give up. He passed out. Now, I don't know who came up with this, but I'm going to give credit to Cesaro because he seems like a smart dude. So I'm going to give him credit for this. Maybe it was him. Maybe it was Paul Heyman. Maybe it was the booker. I don't know. But Beef, at the end of this match, when Cesaro passed out and they rang the bell and Roman Reigns was handed the title victorious, Cesaro laid on that mat for 5 to 10 seconds, eyes closed, completely passed out. Then his eyes shot open. He woke up and he started scrambling to get back to his feet. Like he didn't realize what had happened. He played it off so well, like he legitimately passed out and woke up and thought the match was still going on. The referee had to go over and say to him, no, it's over. The match was over. He sprang back to life like he legitimately had passed out and came back. Like exactly what happens if you watch a UFC match and someone passes out and they wake up shocked. They come flying out of it, not realizing what had happened. Cesaro played that so fucking well. Yep. It was amazing.
And here's another thing that I thought was really important. The probably storyline wise, besides what Ransom just mentioned about Cesaro, which was phenomenal, and I definitely noticed that. The one big thing storyline wise to this match that we needed to see out of heel Roman Reigns. We talked about it before. Same thing with Gargano and stuff. Every so often, you have to have the heel get a credible win. You can't have them always be smarmy and always fucking cheating and always you have to establish some legitimacy, right?
Yep. Yes.
So, what happened with this match? No fucking Jimmy or Jey Uso at the ring. Jay came down at the very end and put the fucking the lay
on him. Yep.
on Roman or whatever afterwards, but he was not down there. No, Roman was solo for the entire match. He didn't have to have any help. He didn't need anybody's help.
Nope.
That to me was
perfect.
That to me was very, very important moving forward because it establishes Roman as more of a badass and more of a credible threat. And it's going to make it a bigger deal when somebody does take the title off of him, number one. And number two, it also sets a little bit more undertone precedence for possibly causing more division between him and Jimmy, because I don't know if anybody has been watching or not. The last week or two here since Jimmy Uso has come back now, he basically said to his brother Jay, he's like, hey man, he's like, you're basically being Roman's bitch. Like I'm, he said to Roman, he's like, hey man, you may be family, but you're not the entire family. So the fact that Roman won by himself without help from Jimmy or Jay is just like, hey, you know what? I don't need you guys. I'm doing you a service by having you ride my coattails. I'm doing this for the family. I'm the head of the table. I'm the tribal chief. I'm the fucking provider. Look what I did on my own without either one of you two there. Recognize me, acknowledge me, respect me. It furthers everything down. It furthers everything right along to what. Like I said, it's going to make it a bigger deal when Roman loses that title. It amazes me that WWE creative can do something so right with this storyline, and then yet other times complete fucking whiff. Like
let's not forget who does a lot of booking on SmackDown now is Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
Somebody who fucking understands wrestling at its fucking core. Like there are a select few people who understand the craft of wrestling as it was once understood by the greats. Daniel Bryan is one of those folks. So I'm not going to say it was him, but like the way that you guys are talking, the way that the ending happened, it definitely seems like a hybrid kind of like culmination of Bryan and Heyman, because that brings both of them in their
It does. It does. And here's another thing. And we shit on WWE a lot for not thinking ahead. But again, to Tom's point, I have no idea how they get so much wrong, but they can get something so right here. At the end of this match, it was a last episode of the episode before, someone had mentioned it, either on the show or in the group chat, about how, okay, so Cesaro was announced as the number one contender. He's going to face Roman Reigns, but it seems like he's in this program with Seth Rollins. Like this, how does that make any sense? At the end of the match, after Roman Reigns had won, after Jimmy Uso gave him the lay, and then Jimmy Uso beat down Cesaro, out comes Seth Rollins. His music hits. He comes down right in the ring, face to face with Roman Reigns, gives Roman Reigns a big shit-eating grin, and proceeds to attack Cesaro and beats the holy shit out of Cesaro at the end of that match. Just furthering that storyline. That's thinking ahead. You're further setting up a storyline now between Seth Rollins and Cesaro. That's another thing that was done right in this match, and it had nothing to do with the match itself. It had everything to do with the future storyline between Cesaro and Seth Rollins. But damn it all, didn't they set it up in the perfect way? Because that's Seth Rollins' character. He is a shit-eating heel. And what better way to get over, or what better way to get one up on the person that you are going to be in a program with, than to have him being beat down by Roman Reigns, then further beat down by Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, whichever one. Then you come down and finish him off. You picked the bones. He picked the bones, which just further sets up a beautiful storyline between Seth Rollins and Cesaro. Everything in this match was done correctly.
The thing that I'll say is about this match is, you're absolutely right, Ransom. You're 100% right. They did everything right. In fact, I think I was the one who said, this match is how you put two people over.
Yes.
This match is how you put two people over. Taking away, the Seth Rollins and all that jiggery pokery, the two guys involved with this match, that's how you look strong in a loss. That's how you make, as Tom said, you legitimize a heel. That's how you do it. That's how it's done. And if they could, and I understand you can't bat 1,000 all the time, but and again, to reiterate, if WWE would put the energy, into 60% of the other storylines going on in the other matches, and care about them the way they cared about this, the entire program, it'd be back to the WWE that we used to know and love. It would. Oh yeah. It would be back to where I'd get excited to watch Raw on Mondays. I'd get excited to watch SmackDown. I'd get excited. The only one that I get excited to watch is NXT, and I want that back. And it's one of those things that it boggles my mind that no matter how many different sources say, and how many different places say or talk about or whatever, it doesn't seem like they care. It doesn't seem like they care, and they don't have to. And I know probably going to bring up the whole idea of all they care about is the money. It's just the money. It's the money coming in from Fox. It's the money coming in from the cock. It's the money coming in from any of those things. And that's fine. They want to care about that stuff. That's fine. But eventually, on a long enough timeline, it's just going to pale in comparison, to everything else that's going on.
Dude, and I'll say it again.
Here we go.
You are bright-eyed and it's a wonderful human being, so positive and so full of hope. But I got to be honest, dude. If you go back and watch some of those Raws, some of those Nitros, there are the points that we all remember. Austin with the beer truck, Lex Luger slamming Yokozuna. There are parts, Goldust promos, where we remember them. We go, man, what a great product. But dude, it's like sitting here and thinking, man, what happened to Christmases? Christmases were so great as a kid. They were magical, and it seemed like there was snow every year, and everything was so perfect because you had that belief in Santa Claus. Because you had there was still that magic there.
Dude, okay, listen, I deal with it.
I'm not finished with my point, good sir. I believe that nostalgia and rose-colored glasses play a large part in how we feel the product used to be. I think that per capita, right now, we are getting amazing matches way more often than we ever used to. We get way better matches on Raw than we did in the Attitude Era, and even, get this, the Ruthless Aggression Era. Whatever era that you cling to and you say that was the best era of Raw or SmackDown or whatever, like, go back and watch some of it. Compare it to what we see now. Is it perfect? No. This product drives me crazy. Drives us all crazy with this lack of long-term booking, lack of coherent storylines. But at the end of the day, I think that nostalgia plays a bigger factor in us remembering how great Monday Night Raw in 98 and 99 was.
Not one second, Tom.
No, I was going to say, I want you to make your point, but then I have something to counter.
Not once did I claim that any of the other eras were better. I'm saying that there was still, with any fan, and maybe it's because I wasn't part of the smart mark zeitgeist, or the internet wasn't as prevalent back then, and I didn't read the after mags or anything like that. Like, I didn't do any of that, and maybe that's why. Maybe it was ignorance is bliss. But I'm just saying that I get excited to watch AEW. I have that feeling. I love watching it. I want to see what they're doing. I want to watch, New Japan. I get the same feeling with that. WWE can have that again because we see flashes of it in Cesaro, Roman Reigns. Hell, even in the triple threat for the WWE title, we see that. They can do it. I'm not saying any specific era. I'm not going to sit here and suck off the Attitude Era because I agree with you. You look back on that time, and it was because there was a lot of groundbreaking. It was stark changes. It was shocking. It was in the news. It was all these things. I'm with you. The in-ring product now, and we have all sung the praises of the wrestlers that are there now, saying how these are some of the best athletes that any era of any wrestling ever that are performing in any given organization. My point is the storytelling. They've proved that they not only have the talent to make it happen, but they have the backstage components and staffing to make it happen. It's just they don't give a fuck. Ever since the whole John Cena thing where it was, we're going to put everything on one guy. And yeah, you had The Rock, you had Stone Cold, you had Shawn Michaels, you had Bret Hart, you had, for other organizations, you had Ric Flair, you had Bruno Sammartino. You had Gotch. You could go all the way back to the beginnings of the Carney history of pro wrestling and say there's always been that one guy that was the standout and the one who was on all the posters and everything like that. My point is, though, with this talent that they have the ability to make it all interesting and make it good because the in-ring product can be taken care of because of the talent that's there. That's my point, is that I want to be excited again. I want to watch WWE and know that I'm going to have something that's not going to frustrate me to the point where I just want to turn it off.
So what I hear Poot saying is that, and this is also my point, yes, the in-ring product may be fantastic, and I'm going to echo Poot's point. Some of the best athletes that we have today, just watching the sheer evolution of the in-ring product from wrestling, where a super kick was a finisher back in the day, to now you see like one fucking every 5 minutes in a long drawn out match on NXT or something or whatever. Okay, cool, whatever. in-ring product is awesome. What I'm hearing Poot say is he wants to be emotionally invested. And how do you do that? By telling good stories. And at the end of the day, what does every wrestler say that they're there to do? They're there to tell stories and they're there to entertain people. By God, if you don't have a good storyline telling, if you don't have good creative, I don't care how good your in-ring product is. You could have people doing fucking 12 million fucking 540 suicide dive splashes, fucking tope suicida, tope blah. But if you don't have a good story behind it, it's just moves. And here's a prime example. Somebody who had amazing in-ring ability, but and I'm not going to say not to any fault of their own or whatever, but creatively they just weren't used right, is Cesaro himself. Man can perform in the ring.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
You can't have just one thing. Yes, WWE may have, some of the best athletes in the world and have an amazing in-ring product, but you have to be able to be emotionally invested, and you cannot do that with shitty booking and shitty creative and shitty storytelling for 75% of your show and hang it all on just one or two people to carry it through. That's not how you do good business. I'm sorry. That is the fucking point. It's going to infuriate people like it's already infuriating us. It doesn't make us want to watch it. I'm with Poot. I don't fucking get excited to watch a Monday Night Raw anymore. You know what I watch a Monday Night Raw? Well, I need to put something on TV before I fall asleep. Or, well, maybe I'll get some content to make a video for the podcast page or something. Have I the last 2 weeks? Fucking no. Hell no, I haven't, because there hasn't been anything.
There hasn't been anything.
It's been shit. I get excited. I get excited to watch NXT. I get excited to watch AEW because they are doing it right. They have amazing in-ring product. They have good storytelling, and they are cohesive, coherent, fucking thought out, long-term booking. Hey, here's where we're going to end. Okay, here's how we're going to get there, step by step. Not fucking throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks and hope that fucking something makes it out of it. If I wanted to watch fucking two people, quote unquote, get eaten alive by zombies, I would have gone back and watched an Ethan Page get his fucking heart ripped out Mortal Kombat style. Fuck that shit. Give me a reason to be emotionally invested. And when I say emotionally invested, not getting fucking salt of the earth level angers of fucking fury and disappointment with the product. Make me excited to watch your product.
Now listen, hold on. I want to say this. This match is proof perfect that something like that can happen, because I completely and 100% agree with what Poot said. They got 3 people over in this one match. One dude wasn't even in the match. They got Roman over as a legit heel, as a legit badass. Done. They got Cesaro over as a legit credible threat to a main event title. I mean, his performance was proof perfect. He did everything perfect in that match, and he looked like a main event player against Roman Reigns, bar none. And they got Seth Rollins over. I don't know if he needed to get over more. Let's be honest, he's Seth Rollins. But what they did was they got him over as what he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be that shit-eating heel, and they got him over that way just by having him come out and beat down Cesaro when Cesaro was already down. There's so many loud cars. What's happening? But they did. And I don't understand how you can be so hot and cold when you can get so much right in one match. 3 stars you got over perfectly in one match. And then in other matches, you struggle. You struggle to get a story out. You struggle to get your point across. I don't get it.
The problem with Raw and, to a lesser extent, SmackDown is that they're not great they're barely good, but they're not like dog shit awful either. Like the booking is, but the problem is that the action in the ring is decent. So like when you're watching something, you watch it for two reasons. Or when you're watching to enjoy something. You either watch it like, man, this is a great flick, I can't wait to see it. Or, man, this movie is so bad, it's great to watch and just heckle. Like Manos, The Hands of Fate.
In not so many words.
With Raw and SmackDown, it's just lukewarm, man. Like, who likes taking a bath in a lukewarm tub? Nobody. Who likes going to swim in a lukewarm pool? Nobody. Lukewarm.
Don't kink shame me.
Don't. Oh dear.
I'm sorry, Pooh. Next time I'll make sure our water's lukewarm for you.
Yeah, baby. I mean, wait, what?
My point here is that the good
showers.
The bad that they're doing is almost being outweighed by the good in other aspects, and so it's frustrating. You know, Alexa Bliss and The Fiend, good before WrestleMania, bad now. RK Bro, great. But like when you balance that out against, like to Tom's point, AJ versus Elias and a heel versus heel match, in which you're maybe kind of sort of making AJ Styles a face, even though he's got a 6-7 foot enforcer doing all of his dirty work. Like the good parts that you can say, man, this is great, and then there are, you know, it's just a lukewarm, and that's why it's frustrating. Whereas everything with AEW is popping off the page, one way or the other. It's either really great or really stinky, and like there's nothing in between. Same with NXT. Here's what I'll say about NXT. NXT is consistently good, week to week. Good. Very few holes in their product. And sometimes that's, you know, AEW takes some big chances. And with that, you get big results. You know, high risk, high reward. NXT may not take as big of those risks, but they're consistently, week in, week out, one of the better programs on television. So, you know, which method is the best? It's up for debate. I think both shows are great. Both shows have their ups and downs. You know, I love AEW for their high spots and for their crazy fucking matches and for the 87 super kicks I've seen in a Young Bucks match. I know it's stupid. And I know I'm stupid, and I can hear Jimmy Cornette in the back of my mind. These motherfuckers throwing in these fucking super kicks. Motherfuck them.
Oh, Pockets shouldn't be in a match with Pac. Like, just
feeling you. Like, I hear it in the back of my head, and I'm like, Beef, you're an idiot for enjoying this, but I'm like, fuck, I'm marking out right now because this is fucking great.
That's the thing, you're having fun, and you're emotionally invested.
And like, NXT doesn't have, like, some of that stupid shit, which is fine, but I still get, like, super into it because they have great matches. So,
Speaking of NXT, I gotta throw this out there before I forget, and I want to get your guys' take, yay or nay. The Hit Squad.
I love it. I like
it. I like that they are making this stable with Isaiah Swerve Scott, and he's kind of got this like fucking rap posse and
Hit Row. Sorry.
To be determined. I think they had a great show on Wednesday night.
I'm here for it. I'm not a big rap hip hop fucking, you know, trap music kind of fan or anything like that by any means. So like that part of it doesn't appeal to me. But the characters are believable. They make them work. And I'm here to see what they do. I'm here for it.
All I'm saying is Dollar Bill needs to, or whatever the hell his name is, needs to learn a phrase other than let him know. Because he kept saying it like 8 times during their promo.
Top dollar.
Top dollar. Yeah.
What'd you call him? Did you call him
Dollar Bill? Yeah. He's not from. He's not a superhero from fucking what is it?
Watchmen.
Yeah, Watchmen.
Let him know.
No, I had
Dollar Bill.
Let him know.
Dollar Bill. I had some. Okay. I had some notes from NXT just
Oh,
watching. Like,
Yeah.
okay, first of all, a little bit of NXT news, by the way. Tom, you want to give me some fast count news really quick?
Bleh.
Okay, very good.
Ding dong.
I thought you were going to follow that up with "That's all, folks." That would have been phenomenal. So we had
call me
this.
a
I
pig?
saw this, and I was going to do it. WWE releases the Velveteen Dream.
Goodbye, you rapist.
They didn't already?
Patrick Clark. No, they just released him, and he was seen backstage at Monday Night Raws, and they just released him. And I'm like, listen, I understand that there was an investigation, and WWE said that they couldn't find any whatever and what have you, Morty, with him, but like. Listen, it was the court of public opinion had already given him his sentence. There was no way. Number one, Patrick Clark was going to be able to run with that character after what came out that he allegedly did. But then also people would just never forget it. You could repackage him all day long and it wouldn't forget it. And so he has to be released. And I don't know if he might be put in limbo with Marty Scurll. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of, he's going to have to either go back to the Indies or he's going to have to really do something to build up his career again to where he could be somewhere viable. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overselling it. But I really think that Patrick Clark is kind of Dunyan rings, at least for the foreseeable future. That being said, I think we can all agree on that. But that being
He's
said,
one of those guys that you can't repackage. You can't repackage him.
No, because that character was so like memorable and so like pitch perfect, and he sold it so well. But the problem is it bled into his real life. Anyway,
the cover up hurt too.
Yeah,
let's not mince words. Like him being in an automobile accident whenever all this shit came out. Like nobody believed that, Trips.
Nope.
You did more disservice to your brand than you did anybody else. It sucks because dude's mega talented. And he's oozing fucking charisma. But like you gotta
he's using some other things apparently too.
All right.
You gotta keep yourself in check, bro. And you're 100%.
Yeah, man, you can't do that shit.
He's got that drip dick.
Guilty or not. And I mean, in real life sports, Deshaun Watson's going through the same shit. Guilty or not, like people have already made. Yeah, you're right. In the court of public opinion, people are like, oh, it's a bad look.
In the music,
people want to get away from that.
In the music world, Dave Ellefson from Megadeth is going through the same thing too. And that bummed me out, man. That bummed me out when I heard that.
I haven't heard as much about Dave Ellefson from Megadeth, but I definitely have heard about Deshaun Watson. I mean, and you've got people. I know nothing's final, but you have like multiple different women coming forward in regards to the Deshaun Watson stuff. I don't know how many different people came forward with the stuff about Velveteen Dream.
A few. I think at least five or six.
Well, there's like 10 plus. So. There's like 10. Yeah, there's 10 plus coming through in regards to the Deshaun Watson stuff. So I mean, like, you know.
And I mean, it's a dangerous line that we're towing. It's a gray area for sure. Because again, we don't know who's guilty. We don't know what's what.
Right.
But it's at the end of the day, like
perception is reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Big companies like WWE, like NXT, like the Houston Texans are going to look at you and say, you know what? We don't care how good you are. We don't care if not a bit of this is real. We don't care if your good name comes out 2 years from now. Right now, you are going to be a cancer to the locker room. You're going to be all that people talk about. And if we bring you out and we trot you out, you're going to be a distraction to everybody else out there.
You're persona non grata, basically.
Yes, yeah. I was just going to say that. Good job, Poot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yep. So you gotta go. You gotta and maybe being outside of the public eye, like Marty Scurll has been, may help. Maybe it'll all flare up again because I mean, let's be real here. Like and again, it's all gray area, man. Like and there's a lot of black and white in it too. I'll be honest. But Marty Scurll is much more in like the high gray area for me because of how things are in England and the rules and everything. But like Velveteen Dream, what he reportedly did, grooming and all that, not even close to being okay.
No.
So like, you know, again, they're perceivably both bad people, but I can see Marty coming back from it. Hell, I can see Deshaun Watson coming back and having a great career with somebody else.
Let's not forget. Marty Jannetty killed a guy.
Marty Jannetty killed a man with a
So did
trident.
Jimmy Snuka, didn't he?
That escalated quickly.
The Marty
funny.
Jannetty.
Fucking Marty Jannetty, and I think we talked about it. I don't know if we
did.
Ramon killed a guy.
I don't know if we ever closed it out, but yeah, Marty Jannetty came out like 2 weeks later and was like, yeah, I
didn't kill a
put
guy.
that out there. Yep,
Yeah.
I just put that out there to get my name back in the media.
Yeah,
What a
and
fucking
No
douche.
surprise there.
What a fucking douche.
So going back to NXT to positive things here, watching the
Yes.
opening match, Zoe Stark, right? She's kind of she's been the gatekeeper. Was it Tony Storm? It was Zoe Stark and Tony Storm. Of course, Tony Storm does a great job. We all love Tony Storm and Dem Hips Doe. So but Zoe Stark, the thing that really stuck out with Zoe Stark was the fact that she's kind of being gatekeeper, but she's really good. And she has a lot of attitude and a lot of kind of, you know, a lot of really good in-ring talent, and they always make her look strong. It's never just a squash. You know what I mean? With Zoe Stark. She always kind of takes someone to their limit, and she makes them look really good. And
she's relatively new. She's only been around for a couple of months.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is that I look and I go, when the time is right, if they push her, she has stuff to clean up. Like one of the things I saw whenever she got Storm Zero from Tony Storm, whenever she took Storm Zero, and it's like, oh, okay, that's going to be it. I knew immediately it wasn't going to be it because she very clearly was just staring at the ref watching for the two. It wasn't,
that.
And the thing is, it wasn't one of those things where you see talent doing it and you know to look for it and you go, there's the look. And it's never super obvious. She was literally eyes wide open staring at the ref. And I'm like, you don't even look like you're knocked out. Come on. It's little stuff like that. But the rest of her work is so good that I'd like to see what they do with her. I'd like to see when she does get a push, what's going to come up with her.
Yeah.
You know? And then going forward, the angle with Hartwell and Loomis is so much fun. What do they call them?
Index.
Yeah, Index. I love it.
Before we go on, I had this real great idea for a segment where we name a current thing happening on wrestling and see if Ransom knows what it is, just to see how know what it is. And one of my questions this week would have been Index. What's Index, Ransom?
Yeah. We should
not Halo related.
Yeah, not Halo related.
Fuck you all.
Balor Cross. Going over that. This is all just kind of quick stuff from this week because
right?
Huh?
That's
next
it's happening next week.
Next week, yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
Balor Cross. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be so good. And the promo video for it, and it's Balor Cross 2. I can't wait for that. I don't see.
What do they call that segment? They call it oh fuck! They did it for Cole and O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's a very specific hype package name, and I don't remember it. But yeah, man, it's always fucking on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait because they're plus this is the kind of stuff, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. With this, it's not just, okay, it's Finn Balor, we know he's pure gold in the ring. It's not Karrion Kross, okay, he's a bruiser and also incredible in the ring. My thing is that you get to see the characters working as kayfabe and what their psychology is. Karrion Kross sat down in that package, was show the footage. And he was see right there. I was going to put my arm through the back of his face, but I didn't. And I wanted to. And it's explaining what he was thinking and what the character was thinking, and it's from their and it's that kind of stuff that draws you in and makes you care about these wrestlers and these people.
That's good shit.
That's good shit.
It actually is good shit.
And then later, and even in this, like the whole thing with Cameron Grimes and the $1 Million Man. Of course it's shtick, but Cameron Grimes is a fucking treasure. And the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, literally could be anywhere doing anything, and we would love him because he's Ted DiBiase, and we want to hear that laugh.
Yes.
Cameron Grimes versus Jake Atlas, which was this week, and Jake Atlas getting the win, which just is proof positive, and understandably it was pushing forward with the Ted DiBiase Cameron Grimes story. Jake Atlas getting the win, I like that. Okay, Jake Atlas gets a win over Cameron Grimes, whether by hook or by crook, but they need to get Jake Atlas away from the white meat babyface thing. He's so good. He's so good in the ring. He's so smooth, and everything he does that's high risk looks second nature. Like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was really it. Like, I mean, Cameron Grimes, I want to see Cameron Grimes have another like really serious run or a bigger push. Which, I mean, working with the $1 Million Man, in my opinion, is a pretty good rub. But like, I'd like to see him get a little bit serious here again. But like seeing how like Jake Atlas works in the ring, I'm like, why are they not putting this guy on TV more?
One quick thing before Ransom, before you chime in, I did like to see that they kind of address like Bobby Fish talking later on about he's like, I was gone with the tricep injury since War Games, and basically it was the for the brand or whatever that kind of did it to him. So we have a program in the works between Bobby Fish and Pete Dunne. And granted, is it going to be a blockbuster thing? Whatever, we'll see. But at least let's tie up some loose ends sort of thing there. Because Kyle O'Reilly's doing his thing. We haven't seen Adam Cole, so we don't know what's going on with him. But it's nice to see that what. Roderick Strong is apparently just done. Who knows? But it's nice to see, that we didn't just get like, oh, well, Bobby Fish got injured and then he was just gone, donezo. It's nice to see him come back and hopefully tie up these loose ends. So he basically called out Pete Dunne, and so I'm looking forward to that small program there. Ransom, what were you gonna say?
I would like to fantasy book for a second.
Go ahead.
And no offense anywhere here, but I feel like when I say this, I feel like I'll be able to see Beef's eyes roll. I don't know why. It strikes me as like Beef's reaction to this is probably gonna be, ugh. But I would love to have a culmination between the Cameron Grimes Ted DiBiase storyline end in Cameron Grimes challenging Ted DiBiase. And Ted DiBiase saying something along the lines of, you want a match with Ted DiBiase? You'll get a match with Ted DiBiase. Except, once again, we get... Here it goes. I'm hesitant to say it, but I'm going to say it. We get a Ted DiBiase Jr. return in NXT.
Yep.
I feel like Ted DiBiase Jr. would have been a much better success if NXT would have been around when he broke in.
Yep.
I feel like he's one of the guys that really would have benefited from being in NXT, from being in that learning environment and being able to make mistakes, learn, hone his craft, and grow properly. To no fault of Ted DiBiase Jr., NXT wasn't around at the time. So it was either Raw, SmackDown, or freaking FCW, or Ohio Valley Wrestling, whichever one it was at the time. I feel like he would have really excelled in NXT. And he's probably up there in years by now. I don't know what his age is. But if he was ever going to break back into wrestling, for me, I didn't say to me, for me, That's going to be my new tagline. For me, that would be, I would come out of my seat for that. I really would. I'd come out of my seat if Ted DiBiase Jr. came back, got a nice run in NXT, and the Cameron Grimes, Ted DiBiase Sr., like feud or whatever you want to call it, winds up in that. Now, whether Ted DiBiase Jr. has a win-lose, whatever, if that's how they reintroduce him, I would be more than excited for that.
So I like that, and I actually was thinking something along the same lines that like the like we said, the Cameron Grimes, Ted DiBiase stuff. I think Poot said it earlier. It's shtick. We get it. But Cameron Grimes makes that work. He's good enough of a performer to make that.
Ted DiBiase.
I love it.
Ted DiBiase.
That damn Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase. No, I love that's
great.
That's one of the things I look forward to. And if there was a week where there wasn't something with Cameron Grimes on, I think there may have been like 1 week when they didn't do something. I was kind of like, aw. But
right?
But there is going to be Ransom. To your point, there is going to be some sort of culmination. We don't know what it's necessarily going to be, but next week, Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase are going to have a $1 million face-off. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Oh no.
Maybe Cameron Grimes loses all his fucking Bitcoin and Dogecoin or whatever, and who knows?
Dude,
I don't know.
Listen, like that to me
There it is.
the natural progression of this angle, that Cameron Grimes pisses away every last cent that he has, and I am fucking here for it. By like gallivanting around and trying to outbid Ted DiBiase, and when he finally fucking does, something's just gonna come and take the wind out of it, and that's gonna be that. And I cannot wait.
Oh my god!
So good.
Fantasy book, Ransom. What if when Cameron Grimes finally, like at the end of this, the way this kind of ties in fantasy booking for Ransom and the end of the angle for Beef. What if at the end of it, Cameron Grimes is, proclaiming it, like he finally gets one over on DiBiase, and he's like, I got all the money. I'm better than Ted DiBiase. Yeah, Cameron Grimes to the moon. And then fucking he gets hit with tax evasion from IRS.
Oh, dear Lord.
I love every second of that.
Oh my Lord, that would be hilarious.
Only if they bring back Bo Dallas as like a mini IRS, like a fucking assistant in the fucking suspenders with the fucking glasses. Oh man!
Listen,
didn't Bo Dallas get future endeavored?
He did.
Yeah, he sure did.
Here's my turn to say it.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Here's my turn to say it. I'm here for that. I'm here for it.
I'm super fucking excited for Thick Boy season. That was a great match they had. I'd love to pontificate about it, but boys, we got to pivot to AEW because they have a huge pay-per-view coming up. They have some huge fucking news this week. Like, there's a lot happening in fucking Jacksonville, and I'm here for most of it too.
I want to talk about AEW. I'm going to say one last thing. Bronson Reed took a reverse Rana, so I'm going to throw that out there.
I was watching. I actually had that match on since we've been recording. I put it on because that was the last thing I didn't watch from NXT, and I had to stop myself from audibly gasping on the recording where I'm like, oh, just oh man.
Bronson Reed fully pile drove himself because it would make a good spot, and that was amazing. Anyway, AEW Beef, go.
Bronson Reed is crazy.
Yeah, dude, I'm here for it. I think Bronson Reed is going to have a hell of a career ahead of him. So AEW announced this week that they will be moving to TBS in 2022. Same time slot, same day, as far as I know. Nothing's changing on that front. But so that's here nor there. I actually think it's actually a pretty good move because TNT has hockey. TNT has baseball. I think TNT has basketball. TBS has baseball during the World Series, and that's it. So I think
that's a smart move.
It's a better move for them. I don't know. It feels like it's a lateral move. It feels like TBS may be a step or two lower than TNT, but I don't think they're going to have a problem with, their audience carrying it over or anything. I think it's a good move on AEW for not getting preempted anymore,
Yeah, because I think in the world of like, cable packages or whatever, like if you have TNT, I think you have TBS or vice versa. I believe.
Yeah, the Turner Network, the Turner Network go hand in hand.
Yeah, and
it's just like if.
Oh, I was gonna say to your point, yeah, like TNT is gonna be getting hockey, like because all that NBC. This kind of goes outside of wrestling, but in the world of sports and everything, like fucking NBC or whatever, they lost like a lot of those fucking TV deals and shit like that for hockey. Yep. It's kind of crazy, and it sucks because I love hockey, but unfortunately in the minds and in the view of general American society, like hockey's kind of not a top tier recognized sport. It's like basically you have your baseball and you have your football, and then maybe basketball and hockey are there, but like it's really football is 1, baseball is like 2, and
it's not even close.
Yeah. And
I love hockey too, man. But yeah, and so I think that's a good move for AEW. But also announced was that AEW will have a second weekly show on Friday nights at 10 p.m. called AEW Rampage. I think that'll be on TNT. I'm not sure. But basically,
finally,
yeah. Tony Khan confirmed that this is not going to be like AEW or Dark or AEW Dark Elevation. This is going to be like a companion show for Dynamite. It's not going to be a second roster. They're not going to be splitting the rosters up or anything. This is going to be another Dynamite. This is like when they did Raw and SmackDown back in the day. Yep. Same roster, 2 prime shows, or like Thunder and Nitro, to go another route.
Finally,
that's smart. I mean, the only thing that has me worried though is Friday at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a little bit late.
You know why though? Because they don't want to compete with SmackDown.
I don't.
SmackDown runs 8 to 10.
That's also technically after Safe Dock time, so they can get away with slightly more adult content.
Okay.
And plus, SmackDown right now is the ratings king. SmackDown's doing better ratings than Raw and NXT, and I think most weeks combined. So
you don't want to go up against that,
right?
No.
To follow them is a smart move. That way, people can go, SmackDown's over. Oh, let's watch AEW Rampage.
Now, I have a question though on that, Beef. Yeah. Is that smart to say like, oh, okay, we watched SmackDown, now we're going to watch AEW Rampage, or is that a little dangerous? Is that getting into the realm of we have watched 4 hours of WrestleMania, I can't watch more? Is it so? Which one of those is it going to be?
I think that AEW's audience is AEW's audience. I think that they would follow AEW to the moon. We'll see. I'll put you like this: we'll see, because next they're actually preempting Dynamite next week because of the hockey playoffs. So basically, their last night was their de facto go-home show for Double or Nothing. So they basically built Double or Nothing, or completed the building for Double or Nothing last night. But so we'll see what the ratings are like next week. Although next week, to be honest, is not a great show. It'll be a good show, but not great. So I think it'll be a nice little tester for them. But I think AEW's core audience, the 600, 700,000 that will watch every week, week in, week out, will be there for Rampage. I think that it's smart because they could snare the casual fan. Because again, if you're at home watching SmackDown on Friday nights, you're probably going to immediately start channel surfing and go, oh, hey, look, more wrestling.
Quick question is, have they said with this this Friday night show, is it going to be an hour, 2 hours?
I think it's going to be an hour.
Okay. That in that case, it's not a bad. That's not a bad move at all. I don't feel.
No, and you know, it's one of those things where if it succeeds, they could definitely bump themselves up in the pecking order.
Now, so they're gonna have AEW Dark and Dark Elevation still on Mondays and Tuesdays. They're gonna have Dynamite on Wednesdays. And then they're going to have this Friday night show on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is a lot.
To be fair.
No, I just at a first glance, I'm like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of wrestling content.
But I lied. One time I watched AEW Dark because the one semifinals match of the women's tournament was on there.
Honestly, we really should.
It's no man. I feel Dark and Dark Elevation are basically Raw from 1995 or so.
Well, no,
it's mostly squash matches, and then maybe you get a good main event.
The only reason I say that is because as of late, we've been getting a lot of IWC love on Dark and Dark Elevation. A lot of Andrew Palace, and guys like that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I want to make time for it. I just honestly keep forgetting about it
because it's on YouTube, and I don't want to disparage the product because again, I don't watch it because it's on YouTube. YouTube to me is not appointment viewing. If it's on TV and I'm like, oh shit, X is on, I'm gonna watch it. YouTube, no, and especially because that's kind of the brand is kind of like a squashy show, which apparently according to Botchamania has some pretty awesome commentary from Michael from Taz and Excalibur. Apparently they are pretty hilarious, but outside of that, not a lot of great content. So
it's a lot of basically a way to start building already guys who have names.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's
what I would say about that. If they put on better matches on the YouTube shows, I'd be more inclined to tune into that, strictly because if it's on YouTube, that means I can watch it at my convenience. Now, I understand I'm one of those outliers. I don't have cable, I don't have DVR, and that's on me. That's an on me type thing. We don't pay for that. But YouTube, that's, you get internet, YouTube is free. I can go and watch those AEW YouTube shows anytime I want. I can put them on in the background while I'm working. I can, there could be a good match there. I can watch it as I'm falling asleep at night on my phone. I feel like if they did a better job at putting on legit matches on those YouTube programs, I don't know. And again, this is just me. But I would be, you could have that segment of Ransom, what is this? And if it's from one of those YouTube things, I would know what it is because I can go and watch that anytime I want. I don't have to be in front of my TV at this certain time. I don't have to have this certain cable package in order to watch it. It's just like the WWE events on Peacock. I could pop in there anytime and watch them whenever I want because it's on the freaking internet.
You mispronounced it. It's not Peacock. Come on.
The cock.
Sorry, the cock. I apologize.
Yeah.
It's the old adage, but it's the old adage. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Why would they give you Dynamite level matches on YouTube whenever TNT is paying top dollar to get the best that they can? And I understand your point.
Feeder though, it's a feeder.
Yeah,
if I'm one of those people that okay, well, maybe I don't want to pay for cable necessarily, but then I get on YouTube and I see all this great stuff that AEW is doing, and I go, shit. If they're doing this great stuff on YouTube for free, they're going to do better stuff on TV, which is going to knock my socks off. Maybe I should think about subscribing to a cable package so that I can get TNT and that I can get TBS and so that I can see these AEW shows, because they're going to be, if these AEW YouTube shows are awesome, the stuff that I actually have to pay for is probably going to knock my socks off.
That's a fair point.
I would think you would be more inclined to want to like, I don't know, give a sampling, give that little taste. It's like a little appetizer. Like, oh man, I really want more of that.
Well, and again, like, we don't know the quality of the matches on Dark. They seem like they're pretty, like, squashy. But again, like, I don't think any of us actually watch Dark or Dark Elevation. So,
That's true. That's true. I need to go and watch it for myself.
Yeah, they could be putting out 4- and 5-star matches, and we just don't know about it because, it's outside the zeitgeist, as the man said.
Right. Good point.
Here's, and I know we are getting like super like extended molars here, but I was hyped by Dynamite last night. Some people weren't, but it was a very kind of promo heavy show. But they had a lot of real great things. At the end of the tag team match with the Bucks and Varsity Blondes, which was a really good match, Varsity Blondes are going to be a team to watch.
Oh yeah, dude.
But I love I forget her name except her last name is Hart. As like their like corner person cheerleader type style. I think that's going to be a fantastic trio to come.
Ooh, I'll have to go and watch and see if I can find who that is. I didn't know that they had like a.
I think she was new last night, or maybe that's something that they added on Dark. I don't know. But like at the end of the match, Kingston and Moxley came out. They're the number 1 contenders to the tag team titles. They're going to face the Young Bucks at the Double or Nothing. Spoiler alert. But Kingston comes out and steals their fucking shoes, and like stupid shit like that is just hilarious to me because that's something that you do. When you're in high school, the real kid beats up the fucking like thug like preppy kids, the ones that are like, yeah, I can go, and then they get their fucking asses knocked out, and then they take their fucking like pretentious ass shoes, things like that. But Miro absolutely made my night. Like fucking Double or Nothing looks like a great show, but to me, I'm looking forward as hell to Miro versus Lance Archer. I think that has a strong chance to be match of the night. But fucking Miro killed me last night because at the end of his promo, like Lance Archer came out and Miro was talking about taking out Jake the Snake and no amount of yoga can bring him back from that and this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, no, that's good.
Awesome.
That's real good. But at the end of the promo, he says, you know what, Lance, and I'm going to paraphrase here because I'm not exact on it. But he says, you know what, Lance, you say that, hey, everybody dies. And you're right. Everybody dies. But I insist that you go first. Like, I was like,
oh,
fucking mic drop, man. Like, I am genuinely excited for that. And I think that the pay-per-view, like I said, last night was kind of their de facto show going into the pay-per-view because they know that because Dynamite's going to be preempted next week, they may not get their entire audience watching next Friday. So why put that off when they're like, hey, we got a pay-per-view coming up in 2 weeks? You're like, yes, we have a show next weekend as part of our Double or Nothing spectacular weekend, but we want to make sure that we're selling our show tonight because we know that the majority of our audience is still going to be watching tonight. So
that's smart.
Smart. God, so fucking smart. Like, Tony Khan is a very, very, very intelligent dude. He seems like he has a very high wrestling IQ. If nothing else, he has the right people around him. Guys that have been around the business for 50 years, like JR. Guys that get the business, like Kenny Omega and the Bucks. Guys that get marketing, like Cody Rhodes. Like, as long as these different egos and personalities can work together, they have such a compartmentalized view of how they're going to succeed that like it's the fucking Voltron of the wrestling world, man. Like, each of them is bringing a special and unique perspective, and as long as none of them are being swept under the rug with that, as long as every one of them has their opportunity to be able to back off of each other, as long as they can keep that, I think that's why Dynamite jumped off the page, because they are so diverse and because you get so many good things. And again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you don't like what you see this match, stay tuned because next match may be something up your alley.
Yep.
Sir.
All right, boys. This has been a very heady episode, man. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, my stomach's feeling fiery from all the fucking salt. So, let's add some tequila into it. Let's get me a soft shelled, some meat, some cheeses, and some fixins. Hit me with a burrito, Poot.
Okay.
At the end of the day, let's be happy that Charlotte Flair did not win the Raw Women's title.
Well said. Thank you, folks, very much for listening to the P3 podcast. I'm going to bring it in real close here for you. Thank you for listening to us. We really appreciate it. And the reason that I'm talking down right now is because we've had a very kind of a heated podcast this past one, so I'm going to have it be nice. I'm going to say thank you very much to our...
You can't keep talking like that. You're going to make me start going north, down, south.
Oh, well, it's okay. Go 6 to midnight all you want, buddy. No, I want to go ahead and thank our sponsors very quick. Mr. Tiger.
Uppercut.
Wow. And his page, Casual Gaming Dad, over on Facebook, and Casual Gaming Dad's Corner. Make sure you go like Casual Gaming Dad. Make sure to follow him because he does a lot of awesome streams. Saw you playing the double Lolos there the other day. That was awesome. I'm excited to see how everybody does this week for round 1 of the Facebook Retro Gaming League. I'm sad that I don't get to make an official run for Lolo 2, but that's okay. Having a first round bye is even better. So yeah, man, you get to
get to
relax,
get
a
to
little
prepare,
bit.
and I get to prepare and see what's coming down the pipeline for week 2. Let's make it all the way to the championship, to the moon.
Get up there, and also you get to size up your competition even more. It gives you a week to really study that up.
Tom's gonna be the fucking Kenny Omega of the podcast. He's gonna be running around with the fucking the fucking Casual Gaming Dad's gonna be a champion. Tom's gonna be a champion. He's gonna be walking around with all the fucking bling.
Damn straight.
Oh,
Tiger, piano snap, bomb Tom.
I love it. Make sure you do that. Also, subscribe to him on YouTube. That would be Casual Gaming Dad over there, and Casual Gaming Dad 84 on Twitch. Speaking of YouTube, also want to thank our other sponsor, Frig Off Ransom. That's Ransom. You can go and hear him rant, rave, and yell and scream on all of his videos, and he's always very entertaining as well. That's Frig Off Ransom on YouTube. And would
you say that you can go and view and listen to him rant some?
I see what you did.
You can see who is gonna get one of those lovely Frig Off Ransom t-shirts, because now he's hit 20 plus subscribers. Congratulations, Ransom.
Oh, that's exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks to the Among Us stream last night. I was sitting pretty at 19 for a while, and right at the end of Tom's Among Us stream on Tuesday night, we got pushed over into 21. I think we have 21 subscribers now, which means I've got to give away a Fancy Lad Frig Off Ransom shirt. And if anybody listens to this podcast, even if you don't listen to my bullshittery, if you just go subscribe to the YouTube channel and bump those numbers up, once we reach 30, I'll give away 2 shirts. And like I said, I don't care what you do with them. You could burn them. You could throw them away. You could take a picture of yourself wiping your ass with them. That doesn't matter. All that matters is we get them subs and you get that free shit.
There you go. Wow. Okay. Cool. There you go. Shill off Ransom. Anyway, want to go ahead and also thank Mr. Sean Tischler. Can't wait for independent wrestling to come back even stronger than it already is. Make sure, I know I say it every week, but support your local indies. That's where you see the future stars of the industry. And I want to go ahead and thank the fella who, by the way, Tom, before we keep going, can you do me a favor and give you the standings for our picks for this month?
Yes, I can. As it currently stands, after the debacle / amazing end of WWE Wrestlemania Backlash, myself, your incumbent champion, and Mr. Poot the Barbarian are sitting at a perfect, pristine 6-0, with everybody else, to include Beef the Legend, Ransom the Madman, and the fucking chipmunked voice himself, Bob Gray, Chaos Jester, sitting at 5-1. So still anybody's title up for grabs. We'll see what happens here at the end of the month with
next week, boys. It's It's Pig Show next week. We got a big one.
Oh boy.
I'm excited.
That's a big,
boy.
big beefy britches.
You know what I'm excited for? I'm excited for July when we get WWE Wrestlemania Backlash Money in the Bank, and then in August when we get WWE Backlash Money in the Bank. No, I'm sorry, WWE Wrestlemania Backlash Money in the Bank SummerSlam. What a summer it's gonna be!
Jesus Christ. Too much.
Everything's the worst. Thank you. And thank you, folks, for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the P3 Podcast. You can check us out here on YouTube. You can check us out here on Spotify. You can check us out here on Google Podcasts. You can check us out here on iTunes. That's right. It's going out to any of you listening to this anywhere it is. Also, and I've said before, and it is very true, working on some new content as well. I'm trying to put out more frequent over on our Facebook page. That's Pittsburgh Pile Driver Podcast on Facebook. Trying to put out more fast count news when it comes up. We talked about the unfortunate injuries of both The Miz and Will Ospreay. So you can go over and find out more information about that and what is going on with the IWGP Heavyweight Championship title. And you can also find more interesting things over on our Facebook page as well. Also working on trying to line up some interviews. There are two that I have a lock on, and one that I shot for the moon on. I sent a message to the butcher of the Butcher and the Blade and was just like, hey, you want to do an interview for the podcast? Just like, why not? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. So working on that one is obviously probably not going to happen, but the other two I'm really, really excited for, and we'll talk more about that. For myself, the Barbarian, Poot the Bard, Mr. Ransom the Madman, Beef, the absolute legend, and our reigning, defending, undisputed Cruiserweight champion, Mr. Tiger.
Uppercut.
Bomb Tom. Have a wonderful evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Charlotte sucks.
This is bullshit.
Damn it.
That's it.